Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Zubair Ahmed. I'm a self-taught Java developer. Thank you so much for watching my previous video. Like I said, it was my first video and you might have seen a lot of mistakes in the video, but rest assured, the content was great. There was no bugs in our code. Okay, without any further delay, let's jump right into the code. So what we did yesterday, for those who have not seen my first video, so we were trying to find duplicates in a string array. So I will highly recommend if you can go back and check that video, so this code will be understandable for you. So what are we here for today? So we are going to do the second part of our algorithm. Okay, so let's do a recap. So what we have done yesterday. So we created a string with some names in it, and we converted this string into array. So what we use split based on space, and we put those values into our string array. Then we created a string called duplicates. It's initially empty, and then we created an integer a. It's also initialized to 0. So why these two? So what we are going to do is, whatever duplicates come into our array, we're going to store into this duplicate string. And this, we are going to check how many times that duplicate came into our array. So that's why we are taking this int and this string duplicates. Okay, so then we created a loop. The first loop, integer I equals 0, I is less than my string dot length. So my string dot length was 6 and I was 0, I is 0 here. And then we created another loop, j 0, and the length is 6, j increment and I increment, okay? So then we created a conditional logic if my string at I, which is 0 right here. So what is in my string at I? Zubair, my string at I, right? So that is 0. So that is Zubair. Okay, excuse me. Dot contains what? My string at j. So what is that my string at j? My string at j, what we have? What is j? J is 0. You see, j is 0 right now. So my string at j also have Zubair. How? Index of 0 is Zubair, index of 0 at j is also Zubair. So if that is true, so this statement is only going to return true or false. If that is true, then execute this block of code. If it is not true, then it's not going to execute this block of code and it will go back to the loop. So in our case, a Zubair contains Zubair, that is true. So it's gonna come down here, and you see we have int a is equal to 0. So now this is going to set a to 1, right? So now a is 1. So then it's going to the next line. What is on the next line? The next line, if a is greater than 1. Is a is greater than 1? No. 1 is greater than 1? No. So if not, this line of code will not be executed because this condition did not met. This is false. So this line never executed. It came back down here and it went back to the loop. So when it go back to the loop, j was 0, now j is 1. So now it never, this loop has to finish, then it will go back to the outer loop, right? So this, and as long as this condition, where is it? This condition is true, this loop is not going to end. As we know that now the j is 1, so that means j is 1 is less than 6. Yes, that is true. Okay, if this is true, then it's gonna come down here. My string at I is 0 because this loop has not finished yet, and now instead of j 0, here come 1. So what is in 1 index? Ahmed. So it is going to check if Zubair contains Ahmed. It's false now, right? When it is false, it's not going to execute this statement. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna go back to the loop. So now it was 0, 1, and now it is 2. What is that 2? 2 is Zubair again, right? Excuse me. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna come back here. My string at 0 is Zubair dot contain. Now here is 2. 2 is Zubair again, right? So 2 is Zubair again. That means if my string at 0, that is Zubair, dot contains my string at 2, that is Zubair again, is it true or false? It's true. So when this is true, it's gonna come down here. It's gonna increment our a. That was 1. You remember it was 1 because there was 1 Zubair it found from index 0. So now it is 2. Not 1 again, it's true now. And then when it come down here, a is greater than 1, of course 2 is greater than 1. So this is also true. And what happened is duplicate plus equal my string at I. So let's change it a little bit so you may be more, it will be more clear to you. So what is gonna happen is duplicate equal duplicates plus my string at I. It's the same thing, right? So what it does is, if this is true, this line of code is going to be executed. So when this line of code executed, what happened? Duplicate was empty, right? So now duplicate plus equal my string. So it gonna add this my string at I into the duplicates. So then it will this statement will execute and it will go back to the loop. Now this is okay. Now this is 3. What is that 3 now? 0, 1, 2, 3, Peter. So we're gonna have 3 here. You're gonna have Peter here. So what happened is Zubair dot contain Peter. It will be false. It's gonna come down here. A is greater than 1. No, because this statement never executed because we do not have Peter in Zubair. So then it will go back up 4 and then 5 and then 6, right? Okay, so when it come over here, 6 is less than 6. No, this is false. So this loop will terminate, and then it's gonna come down here and assign a back to 0. So a was what? A was 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it was, the value come over from there. Now a is going to be 0 because we need to check on the next element in the array. So now when it come over here, it was I was 0, I will become 1. So I at 1 will check the condition is less than 6. That's true. And then what is going to do is it gonna put I over here. So now here we do not have Zubair, we have Ahmed now. Okay, now we have Ahmed. So J is reset to 0. As you can see, we are assigning J to 0 again, and now J is going to be 0. So it's gonna take Ahmed now at this index, the Peter at 1, oh sorry, my string at 1 dot contain Zubair. Is it true? No, it's false. This statement is not going to be executed. It's gonna come down here, go back in the loop, and it will be 1 now. So is now we have J1. What is at J1? J1 we have Ahmed, right? So if we have Ahmed in Ahmed, that's true. It's gonna come into this loop and it's going to do a plus plus. A was 0. You remember we assigned a to 0. So now a was 0, a was 1. Is a 1 greater than 1? No, that's false. It's not going to add anything here because that is false. So this loop will run until this become also 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 is less than 6. That's false, and this loop also going to end. So let's run. Let's remove these. I think let's comment this, we might use them later. Comment this, comment, comment, comment. Okay, so what else? Here, comment. Let's run it and see what happens. You see, we are getting 2 Zubairs because we only have 2 duplicates, right? So let's add some more duplicates. Let's add Ahmad here and save and run. Wow, we are getting 2 Ahmads and 2 Zubairs. Okay, let's add one more Peter. Peter, we should get 1 Zubair, 2 Ahmad, 1 Zubair, like 2 Zubairs and then 2 Peters. Let's add another John. One more John, and now we are getting 2 Johns, right? Let's add a Mary. Mary. We are getting 2 Marys now, and let's add Ali. Okay, so I think our algorithm is working. It is finding duplicates, but you see what it is doing is it's just printing those duplicates. What is our requirement? We need to check how many duplicates are there, right? So for that, what we're gonna do? So first of all, what it should do is it should not print like element twice. It should print 1 Zubair and it should tell me Zubair repeated 2 times, right? Then Ahmad repeated 2 times. If we have 3 Zubairs, it should tell us okay, 3 Zubair repeated 3 times. It should not print this over here. So how to fix it? So we know this A is only going to increment when we find duplicates. So that means if A comes thrice, this A will be 3. If A comes twice, this A will be 2. So we can use this A to tell, you know, how many times the Zubair came. And first of all, whenever what's going on here, so whenever this condition is true, so this what this function is doing is it is this if statement is printing, it's if statement adding that to duplicate, right? So we should write another conditional logic here. If duplicate already contain, if duplicate already has this element, it should not put it, right? It will of course increment A, but it is not going to put into our duplicates. So that's how we can resolve this problem, printing the values twice. So let's see how can we do it. Let's write if, okay, leave it here for now. So what should I do? If what we did here, if I contains J, right? How? If Zubair contains Zubair, and do this. If Zubair does not contain Zubair, do something else, right? So we can do here. So if our duplicates, copy here, paste over here. If our duplicate that contains whatever my string at I is coming from above after this condition is true, right? So you know that, right? So if this is only going to run if this condition is true. If this condition is false, it's not even coming into this block of code. So what is going to happen here is if duplicate contain my string at I, for example, if we already have Zubair, right, and here also Zubair comes, right, it is going to, what it's going to do is it is going to add to this duplicate. But no, what we need is if duplicate does not have Zubair already, then print it. If it have is already, then don't print it, because we know that it's already there. If we are using this logic, it is going to print the same thing we have over here because already contained. So somehow we should tell this logic that if duplicates, our duplicates does not contain this whatever is passing from string I at j at I, or a string my string at I, so then do this. So what we can, how we can achieve it, we just need to write a not over here in the beginning. So now this become inverse. What happened? If duplicate does not, if you want to write it in plain English, you can write if duplicates does not contains, right? So this replaces this line of code, right? If duplicate does not and this contains and then the value, right? My string at I, whatever is coming, let's for example Zubair is coming from above. So if duplicate does not contain Zubair, then do this. If it is already there, then don't do this. I hope you understand this concept. Okay, so let's try to run it and see what it is going to do. Success! Look, it's printing only one Zubair, only one Ahmad, only one Peter, one John, one Mary, and one Ali. So let's remove Ali from here. You see, it's not printing Ali because Ali is never duplicated, right? So it is not printing Ali. It is only printing what is we have in the duplicates. Okay, so now, excuse me, what we can do. So now we need to print how many times Zubair came in our array, right? So first of all, we go over here, right? Let's do what we can do. Okay, what we can do is bring it in the scope of I. First of all, this I loop. So bring it up here, right? So we are going to bring it up here because we need to print my string at I. So if this it's not in this block of code, what is going to happen is going to give us error because it cannot it can only access I within the block of code. So replace this duplicate with what? My string at I, whatever is coming from above, plus you can give a space, or you can my string at I, you can write like came how many times plus a, and then we can write another plus and we can write times. I'm sure you know how to do this concatenation string. So let's run it and see what it's gonna tell us. Oh wow, it's telling us Zubair came 2 times, Ahmad came 2 times, and Ahmad came another 2 times, and 2 times, and 2 times. It's a whole lot of stuff, but don't confuse yourself. Just focus on what we have achieved. I'll explain it why it's print these many lines of code. So it did what it did. It said Zubair, my string at I, came 2 times because this A was 2, right? So let's see. You see Ali only come 1 time because this string was 1. Ali, we do not have Ali duplicated, right? So let's put Ali here, and this will also change to 2. Let's run it. You see Ali came 2 times again. So everything, our program is working. Okay, so how to get rid of these it's printing our values a lot of time. We do not require it. We just need one element and it should tell us this is how many times this element came. It should not repeat. Why it is repeating? Because of the loop. As you understand, the loop will run 6 times and we are in the scope of loop, and it will be keep on printing this statement until this condition is false. I hope I do not have to explain this whole process again. So yeah, let's fix this. How can we fix it? How can we fix it? Think about contain again. So this loop is printing something funny, right? Why? Because we have, you see here, we have Zubair, right? So when it comes to Zubair, it's gonna check against J. So as long as it has Zubair, it will keep on adding to it, and then it will go to the next statement or next element. It will take Ahmad, then it will take Ahmad again, Zubair, Peter, John. It will check against all of them, right? So if that duplicate, right, if that duplicate already have it, this duplicate already contains, we can take this out from here, copy from here. We can copy this block of code, go over here, paste here. So we don't need it. And now this time we do not need to check if it is not there, right? So we need to check if it already there. If duplicate already contain my string at I, right? So when it checks Zubair, right? So when it takes Zubair at I, it check in the array using J. When it find it, it already printed how many time it came, right? So when Ahmad times come, it will take Ahmad and it will check against all the elements. It will print it like Ahmad came 2 times. Then again Ahmad is here, right? So when again Ahmad will come, it will consider it another, right, another element. So we already checked how many Ahmad in the loop, so we do not need it. So if we again check this Ahmad, it will again go in the loop and it will again check, okay, Ahmad is here. So it will do the plus on this a plus plus, and a is greater than 1, and it's going to print in here. That's why we have a lot of iterations here. So what we have to do is we have to see if our duplicates already have Ahmad. You mean it is already done with Zubair, it should not do it again. So because it checked Zubair already, it checked Ahmad already. So if duplicate dot contain my string at I, whatever it is, like for example, if duplicate is Zubair and string at I is also Zubair, it already checked Zubair, right? So it should not check. If it should not check it again. If it's gonna check it again, it is gonna print them again. So if it already contains Zubair, then what it should do is it go to the next element. So how simple is that? So it just gonna do is I plus plus. For example, Zubair, first of all we check Zubair, right? Then we check Ahmad, right? So Ahmad it printed. So now when I become 2, we have Ahmad again. So it should not do Ahmad. So it gonna come here, it gonna check duplicates already contain Ahmad. It will be true, right? It did. It already have Ahmad inside. So what it gonna do is this statement will be true, right? It gonna come to the next line. So what it's gonna do is instead of I2, now I is 3. So now I is 3, it's gonna go back up. What is 3? 1, 2, 3. Oh, 0, 1, 2, 3. Zubair. So does Zubair already in the, we have checked Zubair already? Yes, of course. Zubair was at our 0 index. We checked it already. So this condition is again going to be true, right? So now what it's gonna do is it's gonna do I plus plus again, right? So this will be 4. So now Peter. Have we checked Peter already? No, because we never came to the Peter yet. We checked Zubair and we check Ahmad, and these two already we checked. Then it's gonna skip these two and then it's going to come to Peter. So Peter is already in there? No, it's not there. We haven't checked Peter yet. So it's gonna do is it's not gonna print this. It will take this 4 and assign it here. Now we will have 4 here. We will have Peter here. So it is going to check for Peter and it will see if Peter have Zubair, Peter have Ahmad, Peter have Ahmad, Peter have Zubair, Peter have Peter. Okay, this is true. Then it's gonna do this A plus plus. Okay, sorry, this is true. Yeah, it's gonna do A plus plus, and then it check Peter, one more Peter, then it become 2, and this statement is going to run, and so on. So let's run it and see what have we achieved. Nice. We see an error. Our problem is solved. Look, our problem is solved. We are not repeating Zubair. It's only taking Zubair 1 time because it contained already and it's not printing it, right? So our problem is solved, but we have this ugly error. We will deal with it. Hold on, but just focus on this. We have Zubair comes 2 times, right? Ahmad come 2 times. Then Zubair again come 2 times. Peter come 2 times. John, Mary, and Ali. Why this Zubair is coming again? I'll get to it. Okay. So these all mistakes are intentional. I can just write a perfect code in 1 time, and you will not understand what's happening behind the scene. And when you will see this problem, and you will not be able to solve. Okay, let's see why this 12 index is out of bound. As you can see, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 items, right? So when this I become plus plus, because we find each of them is duplicate, right? So that means this I is going to be plus plus all the time. So when it come to 11, it will check Ali is already there or not. Then it will go to 12, right? So after 11 it become 12. So what the 12 mean? So when this become 12, so you remember I is what? Less than length. So this condition is sorry. So I supposed to be less than what? Length, right? So but we are increasing here I. So 11 is less than 12, of course. but in this statement is independent of this, right? So why it is independent? Because this only depend upon this if statement. So in if statement, if this is going to be true, it doesn't care if I has to be less than 12 or not. It just care about this true. So if this become true, it is going to increment it. So when it become 12, so that means, like I said before, we only have 12 items. So when we in array, it starts with 0. So that means we have 13 items. So if we have 13 items, that index will be out of bound. So 12 means we have 13 items in the array. Okay, how can we fix it? So we should limit this I to something, right? So we should limit, if it become 12, we should just terminate the program, right? So that will be end of our algorithm anyways. So what we can do is we can just write a simple if statement. If I become, I equals my string dot length. So what we should do, if I become equal to my string dot length, that's it. We should not increase it anymore. So we just stop there, right? So how can we stop there? We can just write system dot exit 0. So what it's going to do is, it is going to do is, the system dot exit, it will return the control to the function, right? It will return to the control to this main method. So this will going to terminate the program over here. It is not going to execute any statement down there. So let's run it and see what happens. Yep, success. We do not have that ugly error now anymore, because it's gone. Now our index is within our control. We never let it go beyond 11. So 11 means we have 12 items in the array. Alright guys, I think we are almost there. We are almost done with our algorithm. Okay, let's see why this Zubair is twice over here. You know why? Here is a problem. So there's a if duplicates dot contain string at I become true, it's gonna do I plus plus. If this is not equal to my string dot length, this is not going to execute. It's gonna go down here. It's gonna come to the loop, right? So it's gonna come to the loop and do all the checks again, and it's gonna go back up. So we want something different. What we want here is, we want, until this, it has to check all of the members in the array until they contain this this element. We should keep on doing it, right? So we should not just, if this statement become false, we should not go to the next statement until this is true. This I should become plus plus. So we have a while loop. So while loop can do that for us. We just replace this if with while. Just save it, and what it's gonna do is, it's gonna run this condition, these blocks. Of course, if this become true only, and then it's going to run, right? So if it is going to do I plus plus until it check against all the elements if they are duplicate. If they are already in the duplicates, then this is going to keep on increasing, right? It will be 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever, right, until 11. So when it become 11, right, when it become 12, right, so when this become 12, this is going to be true. 12 is equal to 12. So this is going to exit our system. So this is not going to duplicate Zubair again. So let's run it. Success. Perfect. So we have Zubair came 2 times, then Ahmed came 2 times, then Peter came 2 times, John came 2 times, Mary came 2 times, Ali came 2 times. I think we are in good shape. So let's put another Ahmed over here. See if it works or not. Ahmed, run it. Yep, we have 3 Ahmeds now. Let's add another Ahmed. What we have 4 Ahmeds, and everything else is true. Let's remove one Zubair. Okay, we have only one Zubair, we have 4 Ahmeds, we have 2, everything is 2. Okay, let's add 2 more Peters. Peter, Peter. Perfect. 4 Peters and 4 Ahmeds. Let's come to our next line. Let's add few more Alis. Ali, 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 Ali. How many Ali are there? We don't have to worry about it. This is going to tell. We have 6 Alis now. Okay, let's come on next line. Let's write few more Alis. Okay, let's run it. Yep, we have 9 Alis. Okay, let's add few Zubairs. Alright, we have 8 Alis. Ali, Ali. We have another Ali, Ali. Where is it? Where is it? Ali, 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 Ali. Because we do not have space here, you see. Okay, it's considering it to 1. Okay, we have 10 Alis. We have 2 Marys. We have 4 Peters. We have 4 Zubairs. We have 4 Ahmeds. Okay, let's add another word. Let's call it, what you want to call it? Michael. 1 Michael. Okay, we now have 1 Michael. You want to add something else? We have now another Michael. Okay, so we have one problem here. So let's say if we write Michael capital letter, it's not going to consider it the small letter Michael. So how can we get around it? So let's say we have another Zubair that is capital. So what we can do is, you see this Zubair is different now. So what we can do is we can convert this string to lowercase, and then we can convert this to a string array. So how can we do it? We can create another string lowercase what string, right? So copy this name, we'll use it later, equals string dot to lowercase. That's it. And we put this string over here, sorry. And now you will see it will treat them same. You see, now we have 3 Michaels. We have 2 Michael lowercase, 1 Michael uppercase. We have now 5 Zubairs. That Zubair was lowercase. Okay, I hope you like this video, guys. If you like my video, please hit the like. If you have any question, please ask me in comments below. I will reply to your question as soon as possible. Thank you for watching my video. Have a nice day.